Hey, what's up everybody? William here with the ARFCOM YouTube channel. So today we're going to do a review of the M&P 2.0 from Smith & Wesson. This is the compact. Now you guys are probably familiar with the M&P line of handguns from Smith & Wesson, and probably even familiar with the 2.0 version. Taking a quick glance here, we'll see the M2.0 marking on the slide. We'll see some different slide serrations on the front, some different cuts in the frame, and then the slide stop lever there has that extra little piece on it. So just glancing at it, that and the texture on the grip are probably the first things that people that are familiar with M&Ps are going to notice. Now, if you're familiar with the M&P compact, this gun probably looks a little different to you, and that's because it's a completely different size. So in addition to making the changes as far as the grip texture, the trigger, and the cuts on the slide and everything, they also completely changed the size of the M&P compact. So this is now a 4-inch barrel, 15 round capacity in a 9mm, and 13 in a 40. Now these are both 40s, and I'll try and give you guys kind of a comparison here to show you the size difference. So both the grip and the barrel and slide are longer on the new one, and essentially the new compact 2.0 is the same size as a Glock 19. Here's a look at them back to back, and I'll ask you to ignore the Crimson Trace grips on the older version of the 2.0 there, because it does make the grip look like a little, look and feel just like a little bit chunkier. Essentially that's the difference. So try and show you guys, this one has the standard sights on it. Both of them do for that matter. One more look there at the difference, and like I said, the new one has a 15 round capacity for a 9mm and 13 for 40. So there you go, 13, just gonna say 12 on the other side. And the old one, the old M&P, was 10 for 40. A little bit more magazine capacity, a little bit longer barrel, and obviously just slightly heavier. All right, and here's a Glock 19 brought into the mix just to kind of show you guys the comparison. So I've wondered for a long time, I mean, you know, for years, why more companies don't make guns that are the same size as a Glock 19. I mean, it's so popular. It's such like a middle of the road, you know, like a good size for a defense gun, you know, home defense. I mean, it's just, I don't know, a lot of people consider it, including me, to be just the right size. I always thought it was so strange that everybody else made guns that were bigger and smaller, and nobody else made one that was, you know, just that size. So now Smith finally wised up, and they did. And I think they pretty much nailed it, except maybe for the weight a little bit. And I understand this this burnt bronze 19 has a threaded barrel, and that mag sticks out a little bit more, but just to give you guys kind of an idea of the size difference. And probably the biggest difference that you can notice right away when you pick the two of them up is the weight difference, especially up in the slide. Now I keep saying G19 because this and a 23 are the same dimensions, but yeah, when you pick up the M&P, it's just right up at the top of the slide. It kind of feels, you know, just heavier. Now this is 23.6 and this is like 25.3 ounces, but all that extra weight, those extra couple ounces, they feel like they're right up here in the top. So it's just like something about the balance and everything. I would imagine that if you're really used to a 19 or a 23, the top of this might feel slightly heavy, but other than that, it's really good. The break on the trigger is very nice. Now the take up is a little bit long. Try and show you guys that. All right, so see, we can see the take up. See, it's pretty long, the take up, but then it breaks pretty nicely. All right, one more time. That's the take up. Right there, you feel like you're pretty much up against it. And then when it breaks, but it's not real heavy. Grip texture is very aggressive on these 2.0 M&Ps. I mean, you really get a purchase on it. It's nice, I like it. It's definitely not gonna slip out of your hand. It looks a little bit better. Overall, the gun looks a little bit better, and I think it's really great. I think it's really smart. Like I said, I could not figure out for the life of me why for so long people weren't making other guns, like other companies weren't making guns in this size. And what you're looking at here is exactly the way that it came out of the box. I mean, this is exactly the packaging and everything just the way I got it. So I'm gonna go ahead and field strip it real quick. We'll wipe it down with some oil, and then we'll run some rounds through it. Nothing earth-shattering here about the disassembly. Try and show you guys the inside of the slide here a little bit, and the barrel. Look at the recoil spring, and like I said, the inside of the slide. Right, look inside the frame here. They got a little bit better at making these disassembly tools easy to get out. The first M&P that I had, this was like a nightmare to get out of the bottom of the grip, but that one came out really easily. A little CLP and wipe down, and it's all back together. Now I did notice a little bit of a thicker brownish looking oil, probably like a shipping or preservation oil, and you know, I always take apart all my new guns and clean them before I shoot them anyway, and I'm not sure if this is in my head or not, but the trigger feels slightly better now that I cleaned it. I don't know. I mean, it definitely does. It feels like it's a little bit lighter, and like it breaks a little bit better. So I'm not sure, maybe that's just in my head, but anyway, it looks good to go now. Let's run some rounds through it. So first up, we just have some 180 grain plated flat points. These are from Defender Ammunition Company. All right, and then next up we're going to try the 165 grain tactical bonded from Federal. All right, next we have some 200 grain subsonics. These are the Hush munition line from Freedom. Okay, so 100% reliable from the ammunition that I tried both magazines as well. Look at the boxes of the 3 different types of ammo that I used. Tried to do a wide range of bullet weight, so 165 to 200. So it's still more of like a duty style trigger. It's not like a, you know, single action target style trigger, but it is an improvement over the original M&P. That's my first look at the M&P 2.0 compact. You know, I think Smith got it just right with the size. I think a lot of people are going to favor the capacity of this over something single stack like a Glock 43 or like a Shield. So for those that are looking for a little bit more capacity, I think this is going to be right there in the sweet spot. The only things I could recommend for improvement would be to lighten up the slide a little bit. I think it's just slightly top heavy, and I still think the trigger could be a little bit better, but I do understand, you know, that they want a duty style trigger, you know, an under stress type of trigger, not like a target style trigger. If you guys have any other questions about the gun or anything I didn't cover, anything else you want to know or you would like to see, go ahead and drop a comment. You guys know I try and answer all the comments. And this is William signing off from the ARFCOM YouTube channel.